while we were retracing here back in September and October, from early October, I told you guys that we are going to push up as this level is turning into a support. Now, from March, I told you guys that this pattern looks like it is evolving into a rounded bottom and we are going to bounce from here. And later in July, it kind of confirmed that pattern and that trend, and we highlighted that this is what going to happen. And now, a little bit of correction after that pump shouldn't come as a surprise for you guys. And it is actually healthy for this mark up or this trend up. You may think, okay, we bounced up. What next? But first, you have to actually understand that we reached here where we already have a little bit of resistance there. So this overhead resistance should actually act as a little bit of selling area or profit taking. And that should happen because it is necessary in the market, which gives you that direction. Now, if we zoom out and look at it on a weekly chart, this is what you actually get here. You can think of huge upside from here. Comparing your investment, your capital, the gains or the return on your investment should be asymmetrical from here. It's not a rocket science to understand this. If you just go back in time, look at it and just try to plot just without any much of putting too much of effort into it. If you just take these fluctuation and place it here, you're kind of looking at $150, $160 per XRP at the peak of this cycle. Now that is just the history without looking at the fundamentals. And I can see this means you can also see the same thing. Just the question is, how many of you guys can withstand the carnage between now and that peak? Because from now, as we have more and more institutions trading this asset, there would be a lot of manipulation and carnage ahead. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. So, what are we targeting? All the value, which will move from one form to another. So that's kind of all the money plus almost all the assets. So even if we reached 20 to 30% of that target in the next 3 to 5 years, the price should put you into a coma stage, because that would be the price fluctuation which you don't even expect it to go. But the reality is, the giant, the smart money already understand that, and they are accumulating this asset by that. And that is why we anticipate the price moves or the probability of what can happen next with the price of an asset using the language of technical analysis. And if you do get value from here, do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Now these chart setups and all have been shared here in the YouTube channel for XRP, and detailed explanation with these charts and setups are being shared with my Patreon members. Most of them have other assets in their portfolio as well, not just XRP. So I do the same for other assets which you guys have in your portfolio. You can unlock that value using the Patreon, and that link is given in the description below. Now, let's actually look at why these kind of carnage would be there and why we are looking at the price fluctuation, which is going to go towards a huge fluctuation in terms of your capital and return on your investment. When you are opening up, many do not understand, there is a lot of things happening in the background. Many do not see this. Even it's painted many times in the history. We have to understand that, right? If you see something and if you notice that, do understand that it's going to happen again. At least it's going to rhyme itself again. And that time, you shouldn't be missing that. Instead, you should be prepared and positioned well enough so that you're going to take your profits, not regrets. And now it also seems that those who are not getting in is having issues, and it really seems those who adapted to that technology, those who adopted that software from Ripple when they had that chance, seems they are moving to the upside. And look at that comparison with that chart over the last year. It's huge, right? The 1 year chart shows you how the change in MoneyGram is happening after the partnership with Ripple, how the new remittance corridor is pushing their profits. Why? Because they now have the technology to cut that friction and to give that instantaneous effect to their customers, and more customers are flowing in. That's how the partnership with Ripple is working for majority of these payment providers. Now, when you see this, is it only you and me who are looking at this? No, I don't think so. There would be a lot of competition in between. You can see TransferWise and other companies who will be looking at the same, and they will ask the question, okay, so the giant Western Union is kind of having an issue right now. Whereas the MoneyGram is going to the upside. What did they did a little bit differently from these guys? MoneyGram told, okay, we're going to use this technology and we are using it and we are having that profitability because of that in those corridors which it is being used right now. Now, once the regulation hits, the profits are going to skyrocket for MoneyGram and other partners of Ripple. Why? Because they will all execute these transfers using the digital asset XRP. Now, is that only the comparison there? No, because this tweet from Anders is highlighting that. The Accenture has put out this one, which kind of gives you that information that most importantly, the other part of the answer to interoperability lies in settlement. So have we already talked about this? Now this tweet has to be considered because I'll be connecting that again with another tweet of the same guy, Anders, here, in which he is giving us 3 links here. And when you go inside that, it really is interesting. I read through that and I would like to really share that with you guys because it's really interesting when it is connected to digital asset XRP. Wow, that's really going to be, as I told initially, the profits in this asset in 3 to 5 years is going to be mind-boggling. Whether you believe it now or not, it's up to you. But yes, you do have a chance to regret about the same after 5 or 7 years. You can do that afterwards. It's completely up to you. And that time, your next generation would be asking, okay, there was something like this as a huge wealth transfer in the history happening, and what the dash were you doing during that time? And what will you respond to your next generation? You have to think about that. So now let's move on and really look at the fundamentals which is making me say this. The international card schemes achieve this with ease. What? Cross-border payments. For example, Visa card issued by a bank in Germany can be used to purchase a merchant in Singapore because Visa provides a mechanism for issuers bank in Germany to settle back in Singapore. Now, what are they really looking at? What type of settlement are they talking about? Settlement is in fact a bigger of 2 challenges in the cross-border interoperability. So when they talk about that, they do come back here to ISO 20022 and the new technology system to use it and provide the real-time payment system. And then I will directly jump into this tweet. Now, these are the 3 links he's highlighting here, in which he's highlighting remaining currency and network agnostic. Now, when you read through that and look at the previous understanding about the digital currency strategy and then jump into this one from Visa, look at this. Have you actually seen this somewhere else? Does it look familiar? Say you have the market here, the trade finance here, you have the crypto, dollar and other type of value here. And then every type of thing, the merchants, the banks, everything is connected using this network. Okay, cool. Now, the name is Visa in between, it's not Ripple or XRP. Then why are we excited? Come down, read through this if you want. I'll put all of these links in the description in the further reading section if you would like to go through that. Now, the area which I would like to highlight here is this. Visa has been working closely with licensed and regulated digital currency platforms like Coinbase and others to provide a bridge between digital currencies and our existing global network of 61 million merchants. Now, why is this so important? Look at the words. These guys, these giant corporations, institutions, doesn't just choose a word like that. words means a universe, a realm of understanding should be there, because they understand this and they are putting this forward for their stakeholders, their shareholders, all of them. It's up to you. Even if you are not included in that arena, you can look at these, read through the lines and understand, okay, this means something. And what does it mean? You go through that and then they highlights you. These institutions are being used to use it as a bridge for more than 25 digital currency wallets have linked their services to Visa. Now, what you have to understand is Coinbase and others, a lot of others are working with Ripple, the company, and using XRP for payments. Just jump into Coinbase, you'll see this. Send money internationally for free. You have to think banks are going to cut your throat, make you bleed, and they will act as a vampire. Whereas you're getting this option to send your money, it's for free. There are even other options, say using other fintechs, which are partnered with Ripple, the company, but they may not be using XRP, the digital asset, so they will be charging you $1 or $2, which is not a huge compared to what the banks charge you. So this area of finance, which is the payments, is considerably changing a lot. And that change itself is the new wealth transfer. Now, the wealth transfer is happening from every different arena. Look at the Microsoft, look at even the game players in oil industry, infrastructure industry, roads and highways. They are moving in to payments. They now understand that, wow, this is a giant opportunity here. This is a void which no one company can fill out completely. And they are all coming inside to get a small pie of this large cake. While that realignment of money happens, if you are watching that clearly, you can see that, yes, I'm here and the digital currency which I'm holding is being used and having experimented, piloted based on the central banks reports, IMF, BIS, and all those institutions. It's going to get that traction as soon as the regulation hits the ground. But do you think we will wait till the regulations hit that point to get this? Because, say, for example, usually it used to be buy the rumor, sell the news. So if the regulations are going to come by next year, say next November, just, thinking that our regulators would be having that cognitive ability to think and saying, okay, this would happen. So in that case, will the price wait till that regulation hits and go high? Personally, I think the opposite way. Just before that regulations are going to come out, the insiders already will know that, yes, this is going to happen. And they will push the price madly higher. And that FOMO will make you chase the market. And at that time, the regulations will come and it's like sell the news. They would actually do that. So right now with this pump, what you should also anticipate is that the Spark token airdrop is coming in by December 12th, and there can be fluctuation in the price of XRP towards that. As we move towards that, it's still possible that the price of XRP is going to reach 0.7, 0.8. It may even reach the all-time highs, but these analysts are highlighting that there is a chance that the XRP is going to reach 0.8 as we broke and retested this one, and now we are bouncing from there. Now, we shared the same thing previously, just the head and shoulder pattern, which is the inverse head and shoulder around at bottom, and all of these things goes together, tied in with the support and resistance. So we went through that and we highlighted that there is a chance for this. But why am I highlighting the buy, the rumor and sell the news? This is not actually a rumor. We understand that that is going to be providing value for majority of the XRP holders, at least to 50 to 70% of them, who has XRP, not the CFD positions or the leveraged positions, the actual asset, who owns this asset. So in that terms, the price may still move to the upside. You can reach around 0.7, 0.8, and then get a correction towards 0.5. Now that's what I am looking at when they say sell the news. I'm not saying sell your XRP. Instead, for me, it would be buy the dip moment. Because if I would like to increase my portfolio, the units of XRP which I hold, from now I won't be buying when it's going up. Instead, I would be waiting for any dip in the market And if the dip is reaching near support zone, I would be buying it there because I anticipate that from here it would be coming back into that support level and bounce. Look at this. We had this huge giant candle back in July, which pushed us about all these fluctuations of say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. These 7 months of volatility was erased with just one candle. And now we are acting as a support there. We're bouncing from that level. That means a lot of things in the technical analysis side. And then combined with the change in volume, it gives you a lot of clarity. But in a shorter time frame, don't be tempted to look at these small correction and say, it's going to go down. Instead, look at it positively and understand what the market is showing you. It's by the moment. When I say the money is being realigned, look at the entire arena of banking, financial institutions. They are all using their capital to position themselves in this new financial infrastructure. Why are they doing that? Because they completely understand that this area of finance is changing and they are working as much as possible with the policy leaders, regulators and all to use this digital currencies and then provide their customers new services so that they can run their business. And then Ripple re-highlights this just today that global policymakers thinking about crypto and blockchain. So that's from the Swell event, and when you go into that, either you can watch it or they have actually given an executive summary of that. And when you read through that summary, say for example, when you reach here, rather than apply our legislation in a negative way to ban activities, we want to create a regulatory framework that enables innovation, but of course also ensure market integrity, financial stability and investor protection. Now, first of all, majority of the investors who lose are kind of coming in and saying, okay, I'm going to make profit in a week, in a month or 3. If you are a long-term investor who are not using leveraged position, say for example you're going in X1, X2, X10, your chance of losing your money increases as you increase your leverage. Now yes, as the risk increases, the reward also increases. If you don't, as a lucky guy, you would be having that huge profit. But 90% of the chances are you're going to lose your capital, at least 50% of your capital, if you're not placing an equivalent stop loss. Now for me, that stop loss, tight stop loss, means you're going to start losing from the moment you are going to click that trade button with tight stop loss. Now that's the way I trade. I'm not saying you should follow that because this is not a financial advice. Instead, that's my personal experience while I trade. Now, for me, when I trade the market, it's kind of trade and invest together. It won't be short term. Majority of the times, say 95% of the time, it would be looking at the market, positioning my capital in such a way that each and every swings, I would be taking my profit out and moving it to another asset, which I think is undervalued right now. So for example, when the silver went down, I bought some. When it pumped, as I put in X5 leverage, I took out my profit and was actually a cool amount of profit, which I turned into XRP again. So this is a way you can actually look at the market. When I told you previously, if the Bitcoin is going to go high, say reach around 15.5 or 16, I would be buying that again and looking for profits. I yes did that with a little bit of leverage and I just sold that today morning. And I did put that back into XRP. Now, when I say that, and then I say buy the dip, do understand all the profits are not directly going into each positions. You would be just dipping your toe because you don't know whether it's going to give you a surprise huge green candle, a bullish shaped candle to the upside, or it's going to dip. Now, majority of the chances shows me that there would be a dip. So 40% is invested, 60% is parked outside. So that if it dips, I'm going to buy that too. So if you are participating in this great wealth transfer, do understand, if you just hold for 3 months, you may not be completely involved in that great wealth transfer. There are companies who are falling behind just because they didn't understand this technology. And that should not happen with you. We are sharing all the information here so you can be an educated investor who is taking well-educated, calculated guess before you click that invest or trade button, before you put your capital in. So while this wealth transfer is happening, you are taking your own step. Let it be a small or a giant leap in your portfolio. It should be well-educated one. It should not actually completely burden you. Say, you should not be risking your current lifestyle to get a better lifestyle. But if you are taking a little, just a little bit of risk to improve your lifestyle with this wealth transfer, it may even give you mind-boggling profits which you haven't even thought of. Say you're just buying 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, how many units of XRP which you can afford back in the day when we were saying, or even now. Look at that $160 XRP and calculate the return on your investment based on your average. Will any bank, any kind of mutual funds, the FANG stocks give you that? No, yeah, the FANG stocks would have given you that when? If you invest back 10, 15 years back. So it's like, this one is giving you that opportunity and you don't have to wait that long. So time is money. So automatically, if they are eating all those time and then giving you that money, it's one option. And the other option is here. Wait for 4 years. That was the market cycle. We found the bottom. Bam. We went in. We kind of bought as much as possible. We accumulated. And when I say we, I really mean the scientific investor family, because I was informing you, all of the guys, that this is the accumulation stage when we were reaching 0.16, 0.11, 0.12. Yes, the window to buy in 0.11, 0.12, 0.13 was really small. But those who bought there really pushed their average down. So now they are double or triple, 2x or 3x profit in their portfolios. So now guys, if you like to support the channel, you can hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. And if you would like to get more value for different assets that you hold, you can have a look at the Patreon, for which the link is given in the description below. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.